Come here. Hey, that probably take her.
Pipe that shit up, TNT.
Good, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. I want everybody who didn't watch my last video to click off this video, watch that one, and then come back to this one. By the title, you know what this video is going to be about. Basically, just trying to give, my story to get to the point I'm at now. And I'm born and raised in Florida. I started playing sports when I was about 3 years old. I started playing baseball, basketball, and football at 3, and then football for when I was old enough to play it. But baseball and basketball always been my first two sports when I was like 3 years old. So just went from there. I ended up playing all three up until high school, and then when I got to high school, it was just that decision I had to make if I want to play all three and then not be at a high level. I played varsity all 4 years for baseball, and for basketball I played varsity freshman, sophomore, and junior year, and then I ended up shutting it down for basketball and just focusing on baseball. And I transferred high schools because it was a better fit for me baseball wise. My last high school, I was more basketball minded. My last school wasn't really a baseball school. The district was pretty weak for the most part. So in basketball, it was the most competition. So I always liked basketball more up until my senior year because we played the best high schools, and we played D1 basketball players. We played people that's in the NBA now. So going into my senior year was when I really started to talk to major Division I programs. Before that, it was a lot of basketball, lower Division I interest, and like JUCO interest for baseball and basketball, and I was kind of content just going to junior college to play both if I could. But going into my senior year, I had a great summer, and a lot of major Division I baseball teams started to contact me, and I just made my decision that I was going to play baseball. I ended up committed to University of Louisiana at Lafayette for the next 4 years, 3 or 4 years of my life, to try to get to the point where ultimately I wanted to go. Halfway during my senior season in high school, I ended up tearing my labrum, so I had to get surgery after the season, and it was a big season for me, and kind of sucked that it happened that way. But I ended up still getting drafted by the Cincinnati Reds in the 20th round, so it was still a blessing to get drafted, even when a couple years before that I didn't think I could be in that situation at all. So I ended up having surgery on my labrum, and my rehab pushed me into the fall of my freshman year, so I couldn't play like half the fall of my freshman year. So I had proved to the coaches that I could play at this level like the second weekend of the season, and that year I had a great year after that. And then I went to Alaska for summer baseball, came back, and it was knowing I was going to have a breakout year, and then had a great fall. Went into the season and struggled. I struggled that whole season, and I found myself on the bench. Found myself not playing, and knowing I could play, and just being there and knowing that it was something that I couldn't control, and so I had to suffer through that. I had to struggle through that, but I always found myself praying and talking to God about it. I felt like once I got my chance to prove again to the coaches, I was gonna prove them for sure, and that ended up happening. And it was just from me praying to God, talking to God, came from me just always talking to the people around me, and they know me best, so they know what could help me from not struggling. Kept my confidence. You always have to keep your confidence through everything, and I just put my head down and worked. The practices that we did have, I always went to the cages before practice, or I stayed after practice came after weights, and I always wanted to be ready when I got back on the field. And really, I didn't blame nobody. I didn't point the finger. I could have pointed the finger, but I didn't, because it wasn't them, it was me. I had to figure stuff out on the field that I wasn't doing, and the reason I wasn't playing, and I had to figure that out. And once I figured it out, I attacked that. Like I said, I just stayed after all the time, fixing that stuff. And then once I got back in, it was a different player. I went into the Cape that summer and had a great summer. And I did a lot of stuff that a lot of people didn't think I could do. I did a lot of stuff that people who know me personally probably didn't think I could do. I probably doubted that I could do it. So I just had a great summer going into my junior year. And I got a lot of interest back from 2016 draft when I got drafted by the Reds, and they just kept an eye on me my 3 years. Just really put up to God and prayed about my life changing because of baseball, and because that's what I wanted. I wanted my life to change because of baseball. I wanted baseball to be my job, and that he made that happen. And I ended up getting drafted after my junior year by the Cardinals in the 9th round. Going back to the Cape, it was the same thing. When I got drafted, like, a lot of people didn't think I could do it, and I knew I could. I just kept my confidence with everything I did and proved people wrong. That's what I love to do. Such as now, I'm just grinding my way in the minor leagues and trying to one day get in St. Louis, and hopefully it's sooner than later, but that's just my goal right now, is to grind my way through each level and pray I get that call. And that's it. So appreciate y'all watching that video for me. The link is gonna be down below for my last video, and my Instagram and my Twitter. So check those out.
Hey, I'm fresh up out the trenches. And I won't dare change the way that I'm living. I got gunpowder.